All right, official RDP burpee challenge. Let's go. Here. Here. That's it. I'm done. Oh, God. Okay, note to self. Burpees really do suck. But is that more fact than actually some joke that you see on t-shirts and stuff? Is the burpee potentially one of the worst exercises that are in the calisthenics or even the exercise universe? Over the course of my training history, I've involved in various challenges and physical challenges, and every single time that the burpee comes up in these challenges, I can't help but feel this lowly pit of despair eating at my very soul whenever I'm doing them. And I know a lot of times people are like, well, it's because it's really hard. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a stranger to hard work. I mean, being a bike racer, mountain bike racing, that's basically go redline as hard as you possibly can and hope you don't die before you reach the finish line. So it's not that. But over time, I've come to realize that maybe it's because the burpee is basically one of the most crappy exercises out there. Now, I know a lot of people love the burpee because it's kind of this potpourri of movements with it. You've got squats, so you're working your legs. You've also got mobility in your hips and your ankles. You've got your push-up, so you're getting strength there. You got the core action from the plank, plus tucking your knees in. It's kind of like a bit of a knee raise. You get explosive work from the jump. You get a cardiovascular and conditioning effect. I mean, there's so many different benefits from doing the burpee. But I think that may be one of the reasons why it's such a crappy exercise. I mean, looking at this list, it kind of makes me feel like the burpee is an exercise that was designed by a committee. It's a lot of things thrown together, but the reason why I'm asking this is the burpee really going to be effective at any one thing? I mean, sure, you get a push-up in there, but I don't know anybody who said, yeah, burpees totally transformed my upper body and helped me build all this muscle. And conditioning, sure, it gets your heart rate up, but I don't know anybody who's like, yeah, burpees totally transform my ability to last and endure and like marathons or any sort of sport activity. And as far as mobility goes, like we can definitely do better. So it's a lot of different pieces, but is any of it really that effective at helping you? Now I'm bringing this up because especially as I get older, I value my time, my attention, and my energy all the more. And one of the things I've come to just can't stand is hard work that's not very productive. It's kind of like when you were in school, right? And you're sitting there in a class you can't stand. You raise your hand, you're like, really, do we have to learn this? Like, teacher, are we ever going to use this in the real world? And that's a very good question to ask. It's a very smart thing to do, especially when it comes to exercise, because every rep of every exercise you ever do comes at a very high cost to you. It costs you, well, potentially money if you need equipment or gym memberships to use it, but it costs you time, it costs you energy, it costs you attention. And this day and age, I think one of the worst things within our fitness culture is the assumption that just because something's difficult or hard to do, that it's going to be worthwhile and productive. So I'm not trying to make the case that the burpee can't be effective. I'm trying to make the case of, is it worth the cost? We lament about it so much because obviously it's coming at a very high cost to your energy level, particularly in mental focus. So are you better off spending those resources towards things that may be more effective at helping your endurance, conditioning, power, explosiveness, strength, building muscle, and so on, getting more benefit for the energy investment that you're making? So I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Am I completely off my rocker and just finding an excuse to not do an exercise that I don't enjoy doing? Or is there more to this and I'm even missing that it's a bigger picture thing? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you, as well as questions for other videos. Till then, be fit, live free.